Inside that building, there were officials in there trying to clear it of any potential issues. That would be a very painstaking process and going on, you know, literally foot by foot throughout that building. May I ask you, in your role as our justice correspondent, if this is deemed to officially be denoted as a hate crime, how does that change the equation at all for the suspect who is in custody?
Well, it's an additional possible charge, but I mean, if there are fatalities, as there certainly are, then he's undoubtedly going to be charged with murder. And so a hate crime would potentially be a sentence enhancement. But, you know, and I think the other possibility is it opens up the possibility of federal jurisdiction, since murder is not a federal crime, but there are federal hate crimes. Mm-hmm. So that raises the possibility that could be a federal charge as well. Normally in these situations, the federal authorities would defer to the state and to the locals because it's their people who were the victims. So they have perhaps the greatest interest in seeing justice served. But it does raise, it's a double thing. It's a sentence enhancement and possibly raises the issue of federal jurisdiction, but that's way down the road.
Yeah. Pete, as we ask you to stay with us, I'm going to go now to Sean Henry, who's former executive at the FBI and an MSNBC analyst. So, Sean, we are just getting word, and I was showing this to you as Pete was talking, police sources said that the Tree of Life Synagogue has just now been considered cleared and secured. Let's look at this in its totality. This was about a 2-hour-long onslaught. When you look at the level of carnage here, talk about the efficacy with which it is likely that police got on that scene, did their job, considering there was a man with an AR-style weapon, handguns that may have left 8 to 10 people in his wake dead.
Well, we've got 3 police officers who've been shot, so clearly their engagement there. The suspect, it appears, may have been wounded and has surrendered, so the police being there was critical to having this mitigated quickly. You may have had many more people injured or killed had this assailant been able to run throughout the synagogue undeterred by the responding police officers. When you say that the facility is secured, it may be secured in terms of we've been able to determine there's no other suspects there. Perhaps there are no other devices there. But this will be an ongoing crime scene because there will be a very sensitive crime scene search looking at where rounds were shot, the trajectory of the bullets, etc., when victims were hit. There will be a very extensive review there in that particular case. Let me add to something that Pete said as well, that this will be looked at primarily by the local police. This will likely be a joint terrorism task force response. It appears to be FBI agents there on the scene. I couldn't tell quite by looking here, but certainly Pittsburgh Police Department is a major player in the Pittsburgh Joint Terrorism Task Force. If the FBI or federal authorities don't have actual jurisdiction, if it's determined that they're going to allow it to go to the locals, they will absolutely be providing assistance to their Pittsburgh police partners. When you've got police officers who've been killed, you've got people that have been killed in what may be a hate crime, the FBI will be providing those types of resources from a technical perspective, from an investigative perspective, providing enhanced resources and capabilities to ensure that that crime scene is secure, they've collected as much evidence as they can, and that they're providing continued intelligence for the ongoing investigation to determine what was the cause, what was the motive, who else may have been involved in the course of this particular incident or additional incidents that may have been planned as part of this.
When you talk about all this, I imagine the investigation is probably underway already into exactly who this person is. He's been in custody for a short period. Again, we had reports that he was injured and that he actually surrendered to police there. So that part of the investigation is underway. But the reaction, say, of the NYPD, now without any sort of I guess, claims or threats or anything against anything in New York City, yet they still feel the need to go out and offer some protection to different Jewish synagogues or places of congregation on this Sabbath day. That's probably not New York exclusive. You would think there were other cities probably doing the same thing, taking a page from this and wanting to keep their citizens safe.
I think that's right. In an abundance of caution, law enforcement are going to take proactive measures to ensure if there's a threat, something's occurred elsewhere, that there might be a copycat copycat, that there might be some other threat. And again, just as a precautionary measure, not necessarily saying that there's a particular threat, but just to give citizens a sense of comfort. You've got people that are worshiping all over the country today on the Sabbath, that you'll have law enforcement that's responding and providing a level of comfort and security to those that are participating in services.
Sean, thanks for being here in the studio with me. Joining me right now, Joel Rubin, former Deputy Assistant Secretary of State and a fourth-generation congregant of the Tree of Life Synagogue. Joel, this must be very, very difficult for you to witness, as it was for our colleague Howard Feynman earlier, who grew up in that synagogue. Tell me about your thoughts today.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. Thanks for covering this. And yes, I'm fourth-generation Pittsburgh, grew up with the synagogue is a deep part of my life. I was on the phone earlier with my parents who were there for Friday night services last night. It was a packed house. 3 synagogues actually share that space right now. And this morning there was a baby naming. I've had my 3 daughters named there in a similar Saturday morning Shabbat service of baby naming. And the shooter said all Jews must die. As he shot indiscriminately. And it's a place of peace and worship and of love and family. And it's despicable. And it's something that there just aren't enough words to describe.
Talk about that community, that neighborhood. It looks positively beautiful. Single-family homes. I'm told that it has a number of synagogues in the area. I mean, talk about what it's like there. It seems bucolic and lovely.
Squirrel Hill is one of the gems of urban America. It's a neighborhood that is thriving in the heart of the city of Pittsburgh. It has been a place for families to raise children, but it's also been a center for economic vitality of Pittsburgh, and where families during the steel industry, through the academic community, Carnegie Mellon University is right down the street. It's a multi-ethnic neighborhood. It is one that is, yes, very religiously diverse. In terms of the Jewish community, it's known nationally as one of the primary Jewish communities in the country. Squirrel Hill, as a neighborhood, has been long a leader of Jewish life and activity. The synagogues are diverse. There are Reform Jewish, Conservative Jewish, Orthodox Jewish, all different strains within that. There are synagogues there who are coexisting comfortably together. You can be there on a Saturday morning and see very religious Jews walking the neighborhood streets alongside secular Jews who may be going to play basketball at the Jewish Community Center, the JCC, which is a large facility right in the heart. And it's a really fantastic urban neighborhood.
People just choosing how they want to spend a beautiful Saturday morning met with this kind of crime. It is absolutely extraordinary. So these 3 different areas within the synagogue, you're familiar with it enough that is there one that is the general congregation area, and that there may be separate gatherings for different sort of religious focus? Is that what it's like? I mean, sometimes do they put children in one area, or can you explain that?
Sure. Well, typically in the larger synagogues in particular, there are multiple venues for prayer. So there may be a main sanctuary, which is the largest, but then there were also side sanctuaries that are smaller, where typically you may have a youth service going on Shabbat. Excuse me. So, yeah.
It's tough, isn't it?
It brings back a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are multiple places to worship. And there are 3 synagogues that are sharing the space. So the place is just packed with life in all different corners. And I'm sure there are a lot of kids hanging out, not going to services, sitting in the stairwell. And then there are older families celebrating the baby naming. And when you have a life cycle event like a baby naming or a wedding or a bar mitzvah, you attract larger crowds than normal. Normally, a Shabbat service, when there's no life cycle event, will draw a crowd. But when there is a life cycle event, it becomes a magnet of activity, and there will be, after the service, likely an oneg, we call it, which is a lunch buffet. Yeah. Just a lot going on a Saturday morning.
Joel, I know this is a tough day for you. Thank you for phoning in, and we may get back to you. But let's go right now to WPXI's reporter David Johnson, who is on the scene, and take a listen to what he's reporting.
We almost surely know someone inside that building. There was, as I think Aaron Martin has confirmed, and I heard this from the rabbi, there was what's known as a bris, that is a ceremonial circumcision that was going on in there. So that would bring a few more people into the building. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm understanding from our photographer she's going to zoom in. So we're just getting reaction. There's a large crowd, not just media, but other residents who are kind of gathered around here, kind of waiting for word from us and, kind of word of mouth on what is the latest as we are waiting for an official word. And again, you just saw Governor Wolf and
Papi, do you remember everything we've been praying for?
Yeah, wait a second. A couple bars.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
On the camera? Oh, let's switch the camera to 60i. They said it's a 24p. Yeah.
Oh, then the previous people might have been fired. Yeah, it was getting that kind of juddery look. I thought it was my live view.
Okay. 59904I?
Yeah, that's it.
Copy. Doing it right now.
Check 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Those are just two of the interviews that you've done.
Thanks. And we're on New York Rim, what? 56?
All of them saying that up until now, whenever
okay, we're just going to leave that up. Be ready to move if we... Thank you, guys.
The 24 hours. And they will take more security.
Yeah, you can round it up and he can shoot and we're okay. Yeah.
Actually, he said shoot.
Okay, great.
Just roll off your feet, my friend.
ADL B'nai B'rith that
No,
come
not
up?
not B'nai B'rith yet, but there was the Jewish Federation president was here.
And what did he say? Do you know?
He just described what was going on here this morning, and why it's so important to come to Shabbat services to start the
Yeah.
What's your name?
Gershon.
And are you a member of?
I grew up in that synagogue. I was like bar mitzvah, Sunday school. My parents went there. So I think like now.
Do you know anybody in there?
I don't know who was in there. I met someone who was there last week. No, I'm not. Your mic is hot. Just so you know.
Hey, it's Aaron in Pittsburgh. Hey, good. We've got a shot up on 56H.
This is a test donation for $1.
Possible that some public officials coming closer to us here. Might be able to learn something more about what happened.
You put that battery in there.
Yep. Well, we're seeing some movement down there of the police officials, and it's hard for me to see if the governor is...
Hey, Andrew and Janelle. We are at the corner of Northumberland and Murray waiting for the latest update. We expect in a few minutes that we will get that update. But just to give you an idea who is huddled up at the corner here on Murray Avenue, you have Governor Tom Wolf meeting with U.S. Senator Bob Casey. You have Chief Executive from Allegheny County, Rich Fitzgerald, Mayor Bill Peduto. You see Jay Costa, State Senator, walking back to that group right now. We've been waiting to hear from Chris Togneri. He is the spokesperson for the City of Pittsburgh Police. He said he'll give an idea. He'll give us an update of what happened this morning when that man walked in and opened fire at the Tree of Life congregation here in Squirrel Hill. State Representative Dan Frankel is a member of this community. He came and he looked shell-shocked. He was just numb as he walked past. He said, I don't know much information and I can't talk right now. As he joined that group that you're looking at here on Murray Avenue, you see Mayor Bill Peduto hugging a woman who walked up to him right now. And that is what you see all morning long here, people giving condolences to one another, huddled together in disbelief that their Saturday morning was shattered by this gunfire at the Tree of Life congregation. Once again, we do expect an update from Pittsburgh Police at any moment. We are preparing for that news conference to happen to give an update. But as you mentioned, Janelle and Andrew, the suspect is in custody. As more and more people are coming to this corner here for more information. Just to give you a sense, I arrived on the scene this morning on Shady and Hastings. Police were already on scene. I saw at least 15 cruisers coming down Shady. This is just minutes after the shooting, and they were pushing people, rerouting traffic and pedestrians. So many people walking to the synagogue this morning for service, including Michael Eisenberg. He was walking to the synagogue. He's the past president, and that's when he started getting phone calls, getting updates. He is on the scene as well. He's been providing us information about, it was not only Tree of Life congregants at the Tree of Life this morning, there were two other tenant congregations, New Light and Dor Hadash. And he said that you can expect on any given Saturday morning between 30 and 50 people at the Tree of Life. And then he said maybe a dozen or 2 dozen other congregants in the other tenant congregations that were meeting this morning. Again, all these streets in Squirrel Hill remain blocked off, even though Mayor Bill Peduto issued a statement that the building has been cleared. It is safe right now. You see the flashing lights of the ambulances. Many ambulances still are on scene here. City Councilman Corey O'Connor joining that group of elected officials who are huddled up right now with police officials. And Andrew and Janelle, just as soon as we get an indication when this press conference will begin, we'll come right back to you and we'll let you know.
This is Aaron. Yeah. Can you communicate that my battery is I'm on 3% battery? And you have to change your battery.
Now, you switch 3 cables. It's got to be the input on the library, which is brand new.
Andy has to replace his battery, so I don't know if you want to get a camera in there.
Yeah, go ahead, John. Yeah, John got you. Camera battery? Camera battery? Your TV or camera battery or TV? I mean, I have one right here. Yeah, no, I got you.
How's the battery on my phone that you're using for IFB? Oh, we're strong.
Who is it? My card. It's got to turn off this.
You want me to do this?
Can you get it?
Era. It's just, it feels like it's come back again with all these hate crime attacks in the last few years and this sort of crackpot conspiracy theories that take hold. I mean, these things take hold in otherwise normal people. I mean, can you imagine people believing? And I've had people tell me this, on the street, that they think Hillary Clinton murdered people. They think that there's a pedophile ring beneath a pizza parlor. I mean, this stuff is so crackpot, yet people get fed a steady drip of this from certain media, and it takes hold in their brain, and you can't convince them it's not so. They believe it's so. And so that's a danger we are in America, the way that talk has reached that level. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we're going to find this guy has been a real hater.
It is an extraordinary thing, Jim, when you have to compare these days with those of the civil rights, which were very, very difficult times that this country survived, but thinking that they may even worse today. Jim Kavanaugh, thank you for that. For all of you, you've been watching an NBC special report on the deadly shooting at the synagogue there in Pittsburgh. I'm Alex Witt. We're going to stay tuned to all of this. We do expect the president to potentially make a statement, and we will give you that coverage on MSNBC.
over on the north side of Pittsburgh as well. And they did. They called everybody in when this happened, prepared to handle as many people who would come. The only question now that we're waiting to hear, Ken and Heather, is exactly how many people are here and how they're doing.
My gear's over here, Chris.
Camera.
That's the connector on
I can talk to you, but Andy is in a position to get this news conference packed.
Take this. It has about half, but if you have two new ones, just so we don't have to worry about it. Two in here. Yeah. Do you have any?
I have.
There's some in my car.
Let me see mine. Let me check it. Oh, and go ahead.
Open my backpack. There's two in the top zipper. Yeah, we have a store. I saw you.
You mean you know the slim one?
Riot, you're plugging your phone. The charging? Just a second, let me check. Try taking it out and putting it back in. There you go. Now try. Didn't it? Let me try this.
You want me to call and tell Colin this one?
You're not sure.
I just
Is it true? You don't? Just hold it? Okay, cool. Here, hold that one. We're just going to have to play opposite.
They're waiting for him. I'm waiting to go. How long
You should be okay. Okay. What new information do you have? You want me to go? Any new information about to take me live?
They're going to take you live?
Yeah, that's what they just said.
I just told them
What do we have here?
Nothing new, just waiting for them. You can tell them I could go.
Okay, but we know Senator Dan Frankel, right?
Yeah.
That's how you say his
No,
name?
state representative.
State representative. And then Senator Jacobs?
Yeah.
U.S. Senator, right?
Wait. Andy is in a position to get the news conference. I could talk over pictures right now.
I got to do this. Yeah, thanks.
real people. Look at this.
These must be dead. I'll go look for more.
Chandy. No, I just sent one like a minute ago.
You want to go live, you can go out of here.
Yeah, I can't move.
No. He's going to sneak by.
All right, I'm going to start calling this dude.
Okay.
I'm listening. I have no idea. I'm just going to wave. Oh, sure. Vehicle coming. We're going to have to. Okay. Just double checking. It's these four guys that are here, right?
Yeah, I don't have my glasses. Tell me.
Oh, sorry. State Representative Dan Frankel, State Senator Jay Costa, U.S. Senator Bob Casey, and Governor Tom.
Chris, can I see that?
Yeah, gotcha. Thank you. Yep. Did we see someone get arrested? Did we get anyone? Did we see anyone get arrested, like put in a car? Or anything?
I didn't.
Okay.
I'm gonna squeeze past you.
Looks like they're going down. pro-Trump, pro-America, and just about. And do not let it go. That's right. That's right. So, if I can find Jermaine Boncio, I have pens to hand out to whoever wants them.
Like this.
So, before I leave, don't forget, November 6th, the most important midterm election in American history. So, say it with me. Vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out. My name is Will Johnson, UnitedAmericaFirst.com, and go to Infowars.com. Tell Alex Jones I sent you. I'm going to give you some free swag if Alex Jones says your name. I'm going to give you free swag. Take care. God bless. God bless you. God bless America. And God bless our President Donald J. Trump.
All right. This is awesome. This is so much fun. I live for this stuff, I swear. Okay, we've got someone else, another amazing person. Will Witt from PragerU. 70 million views on his videos. He does such amazing work. We're going to bring him on up here to the stage right now.
Oh my God. This is absolutely fantastic. I'm the second Will coming up, so I hope I can keep up the energy. I just have a question. Do you want to be a victim? No! Of course not. So why does the left push this so hard? It's disgusting what the left is doing. This is why everyone here has walked away, because they want to be empowered. They want to love this country, conservative values, traditional values, and not be a victim. It's amazing. My story is I grew up in Colorado, and we got some Colorado people here? Yes. Thank you. I live in Los Angeles now. It's horrible. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's the best, worst state, I can say. That's what I always say. So, pray for me. Yes, please. So I grew up in Colorado, and I was never political in high school. I was actually, I guess I'd say, more left. But then I ended up working for a senator back in Colorado who was a Democrat, actually. So I mostly just did it to impress this girl who I knew. But then I went to college, and everything changed. Do you guys know about the University of Boulder? Colorado Boulder? We call it the People's Republic of Boulder back in Colorado. One of the worst places on earth, and I was an English major, and I just remember being in my intro to sociology class, and my TA, she looks at me and she said, "You are oppressing this girl next to you just because of the color of your skin." And I thought, this girl knows more about me than I know myself. She's a prophet telling me all about this. And at that point, I was like, well, this can't really be right, can it? So I started researching these things, and I had a huge red pill moment for myself just getting into this. I went on my campus and I made a video asking women if the pay gap was real. Of course, they all think they're so oppressed. Sent it to PragerU. They absolutely loved it. They flew me out to LA. I dropped out of school, and now here we are. 70 million views later, leaving the left and influencing people online. It's absolutely fantastic. PragerU is influencing people all across the world. We reached 1 billion views last year. We're going to reach another billion this year, which is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. The war right now, I think people a lot are talking about elections and things, but the war right now is on big tech. Big tech is who we need to be fighting against. A lot of conservatives actually disagree with me on this when I talk about we have to do something about big tech. These are not private companies who can just do whatever they want. They are monopolies, and they are silencing speech. And we will not stand for that anymore. We are suing YouTube for restricting our videos. It's fantastic. They restrict our videos for being hateful, right? We have a video titled "Do Not Murder." Apparently that's a pretty controversial topic. not murdering people. That one's gotten restricted. Other videos, history videos about the Vietnam War, these aren't suitable for a younger audience, apparently. We have our stuff removed off of Facebook. I get my posts removed. It's disgusting what these big tech companies are doing to conservatives. These are monopolies. We want freedom of speech. They cannot silence us anymore. And I'm so happy to be here with all of you who believe in the values of the Constitution and free speech. And I want to talk about something real quick that the media doesn't talk about. The fake news, I doubt they're covering this event, right? I want to talk about the war on men for a bit. This is for the men out there. There is a war on men happening all across America. Men are committing suicide at incredibly high rates. They die at work. They're depressed, they're anxious, and they're lonely. They have less testosterone, which is the worst thing, in my opinion. And women are doing so much better in almost every single way. They're going to college more, they're graduating, they're favored in getting jobs. And men are discriminated against everywhere they go. And this is why it's so horrible that the left is putting men down and trying to make women be over men. I thought feminism was supposed to be about equality, not putting one gender above the other. And by the way, 2 genders. That's how many we got. Thank you. So men, women as well out there, there is so much that we can do. There is so much that we can do. I live in Los Angeles, like I said, and everyone there is so scared to stand up. We have pockets of conservatives, but they feel like there's no hope. And that's the saddest thing to me, is because there are so many people there, so many people across the nation who just felt so alone. But look at this event, with all these people here who have came together, inspiring each other, getting on social media, in the rain, messing up my hair. It's absolutely wonderful. If we don't do something, the entire country is going to look like San Francisco. Is that what we want? No! Feces on the ground, homeless people everywhere, high taxes, everything costs more. San Francisco is like a leftist petri dish. They've tried out every single bad concept to see what sticks, and nothing's worked. We don't want that in the rest of this country. It's time for conservatives to stand up and take this country back. So guys, thank you so much for walking away. Stay strong, never give in to the left, and let's make America great again, baby.
Oh, we have a really special surprise now. Terrence Williams. Woo! Here he is.
Hey! How y'all doing today? Look at all these red hats down here. Hey! Make America great again. Make America great again. I heard a song when I was walking up here called Lock Her Up. Lock Her Up. And you know, I started dancing when I heard it. They said, lock her up. Lock her up. Lock her up. Hey. Yes. Y'all need to go to bed. I love you too. I love you too. So, Brandon, thank you. Let's thank Brandon. Y'all, let's give a round of applause for Brandon. Come on, let's give a round of applause for Brandon. Hold on, wait a minute. Let's give a round of applause for America. A round of applause for America. USA, 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 USA. Now listen. So today is about walk away. Who all walked away? away. Now, this is serious, and I don't do the code. A lot of black folks, we don't do the code. But I said I got to get out here for Brandon. Not only for Brandon, but for Walkaway. I got to get out here and spread a message. But do not invite, if it's 40 and below, do not call me. I don't care what it's about. No, thank you. We can do it via Skype. Thank you. But for Brandon, I had to come out. I had to come out for America. I had to come out for the walkaway movement. I have to come out and spread my message.
Thank you.
You know, I walked away a long time ago. Long time ago. I started walking first. Then I started jogging. Then I started running. I started sprinting. I was hopping over hurdles. Nike called me, was like, hey. I was walking so far, they were trying to give me endorsement deals. Like, you doing a lot of walking. Is there a way you can wear our shoes? Can we sponsor you? But that's how much I walked away. But I come from the system, from foster care. Who all come from foster care? No, it's not a lot of us out here. But I come from a broken home, from a mother that was on crack cocaine. She was on drugs. She had 9 of us. She was a single mother, and none of the fathers was around. It was 6 of them. And, you know, I was in a system. I was in foster care in the shelter. And the Democrats, terrorists, instead of them inspiring me to be better, to overcome things, to overcome, to exceed in life, terrorists, do you know that you can get food stamps because you were in foster care? Do you know you don't have to work, Terrence? Terrence, you don't have to do that. Terrence, you are a victim. Terrence, you don't have to work. Terrence, you don't have to do that. Your mother was on drugs. Terrence, it's okay if you mess up. Your mother was on drugs. Keep messing up. You can get away with it. And I'm looking like, hold on. And I'm starting to realize, hold on. Now, I'm getting this government assistance. I'm lazy. Y'all teaching me to be lazy. But y'all eating way better than me. And I know a lot of y'all know I eat good right now. And I like to eat. They eating better than me, telling me I'm a victim. Terrence, you should take advantage of the system because of where you came from. You don't have to work. You don't have to work to eat. Terrence, we'll give it all to you. It's okay. And I think they was doing that for my vote. But when they realized I wasn't voting for them, you know they cut that off. Terrence who? Terrence who? Who is Terrence? He from foster care? We don't give a damn about foster care children. Well, you did at first. When you cared about it a long time ago when I was a Democrat. But now that I walked away, I'm a coon. I'm an Uncle Tom. I'm a no good Negro. I'm a token Negro. I was at the White House yesterday. I was at the White House yesterday. It was a pleasure to be there. To see Donald Trump in person. At the White House. White House. I was at the White House. As a racist, but there were over 200 black people at the over 100 black people at the White House yesterday. Be there and said that Donald Trump used us as props, that everybody was paid to support Donald Trump. Hate like that is the reason why I walked away.
That's right.
Okay, I gotta wrap it up because I talk a lot.
You're good.
We love you.
But this movement, this walk away movement is the best movement. Is one of the best movements that ever. Thank you, Brandon.
Yes.
Walk away. Walk away. And I'm not telling you to join the Republican Party. That's right. I'm not telling you to be a Trump supporter. This movement is not about. We're not telling you to join any party. We're not telling you who to support. We're just telling you to get the hell out of there and walk away. Walk away from hate. Walk away from the bigots. Walk away from the sellout. Walk away. Walk away. Walk away. I love you, America. Thank you.
Hey, we're about to hear some more music, and I hate to do this because we're so upbeat, but I'm reading that there was a horrible shooting in Pittsburgh at a synagogue, and 8 people have been killed. I just wanted to do a quick 30 seconds, 45 seconds of silence for the victims of the shooting. God bless their families, send them love. Yes. And we've got to get this violence out of our country. Yes. We really do. We got to love each other. Hey, JT, make everyone happy.
You guys inspired today or what? This is amazing. You are all amazing. None of this would even been an idea if it wasn't for you guys to make it really happen. Brandon, wow, this guy. All right, so I've got a guy that a man that I really truly respect, love.
Okay, just I'll take a look here for the text, and we'll go from there. Thanks.
foggy. I never like to be
Well, yeah, sorry, I just turned it off. Yeah, I'll turn it back on. I was just trying to conserve. Okay.
Gotcha. Chris, you gonna go low?
Huh? Go low.
I got really awful knees. Can you go low? I got fine.
Well, I can't go low behind you.
Don't worry.
So, Jeff, down in front.
Yes, Peggy, and here's the latest. So you see the group of officials, and we're talking about the governor, U.S. senator, local and state officials walking toward us, and they're about to give us a statement on what's been going on. And Governor Wolf at the head of the pack here. That's good right there. Oh, sorry. So this is an incredibly sad day for all of us, and have some things that people want to report on, but I just want to say on behalf of everybody in Pennsylvania, these were our neighbors.
These are fellow Pennsylvanians, and this is an incredibly sad day. I want to thank the first responders for doing what they have done to make us safe and to respond so quickly, so effectively to this tragedy. And I want to turn it over to Wendell.
Wendell Hesrick, City of Pittsburgh Public Safety Director. As the mayor mentioned, we've had a tragedy here today. The work of the first responders has probably prevented it from becoming much more tragedy than what it is. The scene is very bad inside. There are multiple fatalities. There are at least 6 injuries, to include 4 police officers. The police officers' injuries at this time are non-life-threatening. The other individuals are critical and serious in nature. They were taken to 3 of the level 1, level 2 trauma centers here in the city of Pittsburgh, that being Allegheny General, UPMC, and UPMC Presby, and UPMC Mercy. At this time, I'd like to say that we have established a phone number with the assistance of the FBI for any questions from victims' families. That number is 412-432-4400. Once again, it's 412-432-4400. A Victims Assistance and Reunification Center has been set up at Chatham College on Chatham campus at Berry Hall at 106 Berry Street. We will have grief counselors there as well as the Red Cross. Please allow about a half hour for the final plans on establishment of that center. However, there are individuals working to have it up and running as soon as possible. A further brief press conference will be held at the County Emergency Operations Center at 4 p.m. this afternoon, of which the elected officials and first responders will give you, as well as the FBI, will give you an update. At this time, this is being considered a federal violation, and the primary investigative agency will be the Federal Bureau of Investigation. I would like to personally thank the many first responders that had responded to this incident today, to include the Pittsburgh Bureau of Fire, Pittsburgh Bureau of Police, the EMS, Allegheny County Police, and FBI, ATF, and numerous others that I can't even count how many first responders are here that are providing assistance. This will be a lengthy crime scene. We're asking people that don't need to be in this area, please stay away from it, so that both the investigators and first responders can do their job. I will emphasize at this time, there appears to be no active threat to the community. This individual that we believe, the subject that is responsible for this, has been taken in custody. That's all I have.
Can you go over what happened?
I don't. That's going to be part of the investigation.
Can you give the numbers one more time for us?
On the injuries, we believe 6 injuries, 4 of which are police officers. So it's a total of 6 injuries.
How many fatalities?
I will not discuss that yet until we are sure of the number. I don't want to get into that at this point.
Reported that he screamed, "All Jews must die." Is that true or false?
There's a lot of information. I'd be very cautious on what you hear and what you don't hear at this time. Like I say, we have numerous investigators here. I would ask that if anyone has any information regarding the investigation, that they also call that 412-432-4400, and that will put you in contact with the FBI.
Wendell, can you tell us what the situation was in there? How many people about were inside?
I don't have that answer. I do not want to give you. My understanding was there was a service occurring.
Has the security been lifted? Can people in Squirrel Hill leave their houses?
That is correct. However, we are setting up a very hard perimeter around the crime scene, and we ask individuals to stay away from that. So there will be a very secure presence around the crime scene just to protect the integrity of the investigation.
What the person taken into custody, any weapons recovered off this person?
I don't want to get into that.
You believe he acted alone 100%?
I don't want to get into that. Right now, what we have is one subject in custody from the scene. Whether or not, as all these investigations, we have to look into every imaginable fact to find out if there is anyone else that's been involved in it.
Is there any evidence of a bomb?
I'm sorry?
Is there any evidence of a bomb?
There is not. Explosive ordnance disposal teams went through the scene, and there is no evidence of any IEDs or any further threat.
Wendell, for a moment there, you sounded very emotional.
Uh,
Your hand was placed on your shoulder. Tell me how you feel right now.
It's a very horrific crime scene. It's one of the worst that I've seen, and I've been on some plane crashes. It's very bad. All right, so
What's his identity?
I do not want to get into that. Like I say, there's a very active investigation going on right now.
Have you identified him?
I'm sorry? You will hear from myself, the SAC, Special Agent in charge of the FBI, the U.S. Attorney, as well as the elected officials.
A lot of moving parts today. What's the next step here?
The next step is secure the crime scene. The FBI has both assets from both Western Pennsylvania and from D.C. en route here, so they will be running the investigation and the crime scene with the support of both the Allegheny County Police and the City of Pittsburgh Police.
Did the shooter actually attend the synagogue at any?
I have no idea. I'd like to also mention the state police. They've been instrumental in helping us out as well.
Just to be clear, is it 6 people or at least 6?
As far as the injuries, right now we're at 6 injuries.
Did you identify the gunman?
It's an active investigation. I mean, obviously we know who the gunman is, but I'm not going to bring that up now.
Why are the feds conducting the investigation?
As I mentioned before, this falls under a hate crime, being it's a Jewish synagogue, so it will be basically a federal investigation with the assistance of the locals, county, and state police.
Is the shooter among those injured?
The shooter was taken to the hospital, and I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you very much.
Yes, I'm still out here again. Like you said, that was Wendell Hisrich. He was the director of the Department of Public Safety here in Pittsburgh. He said at least 6 injured. He wouldn't tell us if the gunman was one of the 6 that have been injured. He also would not go on the record and confirm for us the number of fatalities. He said those injured were taken to 3 hospitals, 2 of which UPMC Mercy, UPMC Presbyterian. He also said there will be another press conference that will be coming up at 4 o'clock. And most importantly, he said that they are calling this a hate crime. For that reason, the Federal Bureau of Investigation will be taking over this investigation. We are expected to hear much more from public officials coming up at 4 o'clock. That's in just a little shy of 3 hours. We're here right now at the corner of Northumberland and Murray Avenue. He was very visibly shaken up. You heard from him, or if you're just tuning in, he said it was one of the worst crime scenes he's seen. He said he's been on many crime scenes. He's been on plane crashes, and he hasn't seen anything this terrible. Those are just some of the key points that he relayed, and we also heard from Governor Wolf. He introduced Wendell Hisrich. He said he's here, and he is one of many public officials that are descending upon Squirrel Hill. Also, the Attorney General Josh Shapiro just tweeting out that he is on his way to Pittsburgh as well to be here and support the leaders of Pittsburgh as this investigation just begins. What is next? He said what is next is they will begin to process the crime scene. He said it is a very complicated and involved crime scene, and they will begin to process that before they can release any more information. We, of course, will pass along those details as soon as we receive them out here on the street in Squirrel Hill. But for now, I'm going to send it back to you in the studio.
Thank you, David.
Yep. All clear.
Walk away. Walk away. Walk away.
What are you out here today for?
Common sense. Common sense. It's about to walk away, everybody. We have to walk away.
So let's continue to walk away. We walk into freedom, and we are showing the great awakening in our country. Amen. There you go. Let's get it.
Walk away! Walk away! Walk away! Walk away! Walk
CNN sucks! CNN sucks! CNN sucks! CNN sucks!
Walk away from Nancy Pelosi! Walk away from Chuck Schumer! Walk away from Nancy Warner!
Right away.
Antifa!
I just want to show that it's blocks long. It's a really, really long group of people. The people in the front are kind of going too fast, which is causing it to spread out a little bit. But you can see a lot of people showed up for this, more than most right-wing events in Washington, D.C. that I can think of.
Don't turn around and leave me. I might. Make some noise, people.
Walking away.
Walk away! Walk away! Walk away! Walk away! Walk away!
We're bringing. Well, I got a document.
Glorious restoration of America. The great God Emperor Trump. We're going to make Trump the perpetual president. He's going to be the last president, the perpetual president. Trump for president for life. Trump is president for life.
You want a lifetime appointment?
Trump reads Mench's small book.
Constitutionalist.
Maybe for 4 years and then he'll get reelected. Mench's small book is on the cabinet. You just don't know. The secret cabinet of Donald Trump.
Trump is just a president.
Now,
That's it.
Trump is the God Emperor. Trump is the God Emperor.
So as you can see, the range of political opinion here varies from re-elect Donald Trump to make Trump president for life. You can see that it's spread out pretty far, like maybe 4 blocks from beginning to end. I would guess about 500 people total, maybe 1,000 tops, but it's just really hard to count.
Right. So we got to go away. No, they'll wait for us. Yeah. You don't.
I'm not trying. I'm being yelled at, so it's just a reaction.
Walk away! 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 Yeah, I don't think so.
Don't worry. So again, I see some commenters saying that it looks small or something. It's really spread out. There's like 4 blocks behind us, almost all the way back to the Capitol. There's kind of a line of people. So it's really spread out. It's a little hard to show everybody like in one shot, but I would say that there's 500 to maybe 1,000 total, but it's really, really hard to guess.
All right. And I want you to look at this beautiful banner right now. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, I'll rotate it. Now, Mr. Struck.
Yes.
How are you feeling today, sir?
I'm feeling amazing today, and I've had no sleep.
No sleep?
Yes, but I'm still feeling amazing because the energy in this crowd today is electric and amazing. Rain or shine, we're here today to walk away from the Democratic Party.
All right, now, Tracy Beans. Miss Beans, how you doing, man?
Feeling great.
How you feeling?
Feeling great.
Good. Okay, now, you started this movement, sir, and there's so many people, black, white, Jew, Gentile, that are standing with you.
That's right.
This is what America is all about.
That's
How do you
right.
feel about that, Brandon?
I feel amazing. Black, white, straight, gay, all of us will walk away.
You heard it right here, folks. We are in Washington, D.C.
Mr. Strucker, question. We're trying to find some Russian bots. Are you one?
There's a great awakening.
That's not compute.
If he is, he's an
All people coming together to walk away. And all you have to do is just look at it for yourself. This is what the walkaway movement is all about. God bless you. God bless our country. And God bless everybody that's walking and watching right now. And can we say, God bless America?
There's a lot of people. Here, I'll get the...
Testing, testing. Does my mic work on here? Fuck off, I have a cold.
Hallelujah.
This is a test donation for $.
You
want to walk away yourself?
No, I've always been.
Oh, you
I'm assuming once the speeches start, we'll get some more streams up.
mean, Simone, don't feel like you have to. I will say, I didn't even think, because, I mean, obviously, like, she's Shomer Shabbos, which means she doesn't keep, so you don't use, like, technology, so when Shabbat and something I didn't even think about was how terrifying that could be to not even be able to, like, be in front of people, right? So, yeah, well, I would say that's I mean, but I think that's interesting. I mean, I would say, I don't know, I'm just...
For safety.
Well, yeah, I know, but I was just thinking about that, like, it's just interesting, like, right? Like, what? Okay, but anyway. Thank you.
So without that, I cannot get a passport. In a couple years, the only way that these laws will change is to vote, is to protest, is to get out on the street and let our voices be heard. Trans rights are human rights. Trans rights are human rights. We will not be silenced. We will be heard. Every one of you here today, all of my trans siblings, I see you. I see you standing here with me. I see you standing here beside me. I see you standing behind me. You are all around me, and I am here for you. We are here for each other. We like to talk about community. We like to talk about the fact that we need to work together because we are a community. We're not. We are a lot of communities. We need to come together to work as one community. It will not come naturally. It will not come easy. We need to fight. We need to lift each other up. We need to center the most marginalized of our communities. We need to center our youth. We need to hear their voices. We need to center our people of color. We need to hear their voices. The future is intersectional. The future is accessible. Rise up, fight back.
Hello. Okay. Hi, my name is Chris. 18 years old. I'm a student at City College. I'm a political science major. I'm also a member of the Party for Socialism and Liberation back there. The Stonewall means fight back there. I just wanted to do like a little rant, I guess, because since I go by they, them, he, him, as a trans masculine person, like, I feel the need to want to have top, you have dysphoria, and it's valid to like have top surgery, it's valid to take hormones, but some people don't feel the need to take hormones. or have surgery, and we should respect that. Some people don't need to. I've never felt the need to like remove any part of me but now with the Trump administration like attacking us, it's like I have to now, like I have to rush everything. So I was just gonna say a little rant about that. Okay, my body is a body. It is a trans body, and it is the gender I tell you it is. Being born AFAB doesn't mean I have a woman's body. I don't. I have a non-binary body. Whether I get surgery or hormones won't make this a man's body. This is my trans non-binary body, no matter what I look like, no matter what parts I have. Genitalia does not equal gender. Trans people don't have to change their body to be trans. Trans people don't have to feel the need to change the body to be valid. And also I wanted to say that trans exclusionary radical feminists kind of suck and boo them, boo terms. That's all.
Esh Len Yazi. Hello everybody, my name is Len Yazi. I'm Navajo from Northern Arizona in the Navajo Nation, and I just really would like to take this time to acknowledge that we reside on currently occupied Kumeyaay land, and you can cheer, and that everywhere else you live, you are on occupied Native land, and you are here as occupiers. And always remember that and never forget that. And also that Two-Spirit, trans people, non-binary folks within the indigenous community, we are sacred and we are here and we will resist, we will exist, and we will rise. Thank you.
The right wing's worst nightmare. We're having a pizza party at 5:30. I'll have some wine and pizza. Not male, really? not female, but the first both. person that was on her birthday party list. Only this year she's not having. I am, and I'm proud to be a bi-gender chimera XX/XY. But that means that I have both male and female parts. I cannot be put into a box. They assigned me male at first. I got to, well, there's a surprise. I got girl parts inside. That means that I cannot be assigned either male, female, trans. I am what I am. And on my birth certificate, and the only way I was able to get my government services is I had to lie and tell them that it was a French hospital and it stood for home. No, it stands for hermaphrodite, which is now intersex. I will not be a race. For being here.
Hi, my name is Sanjay Fulver, and I am an Indian trans masculine person. I was originally born in India, and I came here when I was about 13 months old, and I've grown up here in San Diego my entire life, and I realized that I did not fit the box that was checked when I was born. I came out as gay when I was in high school, and then in college about 4 years ago, I realized that there was a way for me to exist in my own body, in my own existence, that is so much better than anything I could have ever imagined my life could be, as positive, as empowering, and as fulfilling as anything prior to that I had ever experienced. And unfortunately for me, that journey has had its share of struggles. I have had to cut family members out of my life because even 4 years on my transition, I am still dead named. I am still misgendered by family. I have to be very careful how I present around them. I have to make sure that I don't, get too uppity because, oh no, we just don't talk about that in our family. But as everybody else has said, the people who adopted me, the people who I am related to, they are not my family. You are all my family. And I am very, very, very thankful that my wonderful girlfriend is here to support me in this. She is a wonderful ally, and that is how you do allyship. You show up for your partners. You show up for your loved ones. That is how an ally should be. So thank you. Thank you, Sophie. I love you so much. Thank you. This is how you do allyship. And I'm currently struggling with Kaiser is just the worst. Can I just say that right now? I've been, for 4 years, I've been kept on 50 milligrams of testosterone twice a week for the last 4 years. And I still get mammed on the phone, and I was told by my endocrinologist not 1 month ago that the reason he will not hold me to male ranges for my testosterone or increase my dosage is because genetically you're XX, so technically you're female. So I am being denied my health care. Right? I wish. I'm being denied my health care by people who have volunteered to take care of our community, and they are not upholding their end of the bargain. So we need to get better trans health care. We need to get better health care in general, because denying me medication, it's not just I want it. This is literally life-saving medication that I need to survive, and we need to make sure it is accessible, it is affordable for everybody, no matter how far you medically want to transition, or if you don't want to medically transition at all, being able to just survive and go to a doctor and you feel safe and validated and care is actually collaborative. That is one of the biggest things that I would hope to advocate for. Thank you so much. Thank you for letting me speak.
Hi, my name is Jay. I'm non-binary, they, them. I'm 14. This is my first year of high school, and I'm really blessed to be at the high school where I am, and it's a real change from where I was in middle school because I was at a very conservative school, and I've heard a lot of slurs. I've heard fairy, I've heard dyke, I've heard fag, and I've heard it said in tones that make it seem like it's just a joke. And I've seen teachers just ignore it, which is a really horrible feeling. And this was 7th and 8th graders saying this. They shouldn't know these words. They shouldn't know what those things mean. They shouldn't call other people these things. And you want to know where they're hearing this stuff? Their parents, their relatives, their family. That's where they're hearing it. It's just really a terrible thing, and I hope that no one else has to have that experience. And me and my tiny group of friends at that school all had that, and it was just horrible. But at my new high school, we have stickers all over the place that say safe space with rainbows on them, which is amazing. And my GSA is also amazing, and I was up with Dustin, and he's the president of our GSA. And we went to Pride by the Beach, and that was my first Pride event, and it was amazing to be surrounded by people that were like me, which is a feeling that I've never experienced before. It was new, and it was just incredible, and I hope that other people who are younger than me get the chance to feel that too. Thanks. Yeah.
So, just real quick, can we get everyone up here who's wearing Trans Pride flag capes for a group photo? If you want to come up. Come on.
I'm going to take this opportunity to head home because my feet are killing me. But this has been awesome, and thank you to everyone who watched and who will continue to watch.
Congratulations, you're all part of the Trans Justice League.
The last 2 or 3 years I've had to hide who I was because I was scared. I was harassed and I was sexually assaulted for coming out to the little people that I did, and I was so scared. And now just being this big community with everybody by my side, it makes me so happy and just it makes me so happy to just be part of a big community like this. I want to say thank you to everybody who's here and supporting, showing support.
We love you.
Hi, my name's Sam. I'm a little nervous, so excuse me. I use they, them pronouns. I identify as non-binary, and I'm 15 years old. At my school, I am the vice president of the GSA, and we try to get out in the community a lot and go to these different things. And I had stuff in my head I was gonna say, but I forgot it. We try to come out here. We do these things, and we get our support from our community, from our family. If we can't get it from our own biological family, because not everyone's supportive of who they are. Luckily, my mama is here. And my teacher from my school is also here. But it's just sometimes in our community we find more of a family than we do in our own, and I'm so thankful to have everyone here and that's supporting our community. Thank you.
I got that. So how's everybody going? I'm Cassius Les. I am an active duty Navy sailor and trans female. what's up? I'm glad to see that everyone's here, especially very appreciative to see the youth. I literally work 2 miles down the street. I'm one of the lucky ones in the Navy. However, not everybody is as lucky as myself to have a supportive command and a chain of people that will actually help you in the processes that you need in the military. We need people to vote, because if there's no rights to fight for, then what the fuck am I doing with my life? I re-enlisted for 6 more years after serving for 8. If I don't have rights to fight for, then what is my job worth? What am I fighting for? I should be fighting for not only your rights, but my rights to wear my uniform proudly, to be able to go overseas and do what I need to do to make sure that this country is a safe place for me to come home to. Because if I don't have a safe place to come home, I'm just going to become another Vietnam vet on the streets one of these days, and we don't need any more of that. We don't need that in our country. We need to get past that. I need to be able to come home to open arms where everyone can be welcomed and say, I see you. Thank you for what you did for me. Thank you for shedding the blood. Thank you for laying your body on the line. Thank you for going over there and doing what I couldn't. That's what I need to be able to come home to every day. If we don't vote, if this doesn't get passed in our favor, then everything that I have done and friends of mine who have passed away have done will be in vain. I need for you to help me to believe again in this country, for a country that I fight for and am slowly losing faith in every day, because you turn on the news, there's almost nothing for me to want to work for. I go to work to do a job, but at the end of the day, what does it amount to? So please vote. And if you see an individual who's transgender, especially if they're in uniform, let them know that you see them. We need that love. Thank you.
I know it's just up here, but thanks, Wonder Woman / Mama Bear, for the wonderful segue. I'm Clark, he, him. I'm also in the Navy with Katsuya, but
my baby.
Hence my nickname for Mama Bear. This is more for the athletes in the crowd. So a little background on me, like even way before I came out, when I was this tall, like 8 years old, 7, 8 years old, my dad got me started strength training. And I only mention this because, you know, I keep reading about sports history as it relates to civil rights. One thing I've always noticed is that usually, the sports world is usually more accepting of any type of minority than the rest of the general population at large, like just historically. So, all the athletes in the crowd, like all my fellow athletes, use that shit to your advantage. That's all.
Hi everyone, I'm Adrian Donovan Scott. Thank you. Non-binary. I don't identify as a woman or a man. I'm not a trans man. I just want to be clear about that. I'm non-binary. I use they, them pronouns. Adrian, boy, daddy, and nasty if you're lucky. I read this yesterday at the teach-in for anyone who was there, so you're just going to hear me again. But I came out as non-binary about 2 years ago after moving to San Diego. I moved from a huge queer community in D.C. and Baltimore. I never really grew up around open queers, gender non-conforming, or non-binary individuals. I didn't have the images to connect what I was feeling inside or seeing within me. or the opportunities or words to express it. I grew up being accepted by my father for being gay, so long as I dressed like a lady. I'm a recovering drug addict, and I want to be open about that because so many in our community are still suffering. I'm not shy about my struggles. I've been homeless as recently as last year, and I just found housing. Thank you. I also just celebrated my 9 months of sobriety as well. Thank you. That's important to me because I came out, because I learned how to identify myself, because I accepted myself. Especially in the black community, we have standards that we have to live by. You know, many times we grew up in the church and we have to present ourselves as very ladylike or very masculine. We have this toxic masculinity that we have to own up to. If I didn't recognize that, if I didn't accept that in me and recognize that I was struggling with myself,
are very hostile.
That I should die.
I lost my job.
My family should die.
Friends called my husband the N-word.
And there's just hateful attacks and shaming.
They want to shut me off. They want to shut me down.
I was unfriended by my cousin and my uncle.
Within an hour, I had lost over 500 friends.
I lost at least half the people on my friends list on Facebook.
They've also left me behind.
Losing friends, losing family members.
Real relationships broken.
This hippie school, peace, love, and happiness, saying that I was a racist because I wasn't supporting Hillary Clinton.
People hop on my page and call me the C word and bitch and Nazi.
I was labeled an Uncle Tom and was targeted for ridicule.
I was called every name in the book.
Racist bigots, low IQ voters.
Homophobic bigot.
A white supremacist.
A worthless piece of shit.
Misogynist. Homophobic.
Xenophobic.
A tramp and a slut.
White supremacy.
Self-hating gay.
An Islamophobe.
A Nazi.
Transphobic.
Racist.
Sexist.
A racist, sexist, homophobic, treating conservatives like second-class citizens.
It's no longer acceptable to have a different opinion.
The Democratic Party have become fascist.
I am literally fearful that someone might physically hurt me.
I've been afraid.
I'm afraid.
In fear of my safety.
And that fear is very real.
I was even told that they were going to kill me.
I have to hide.
In the protesting, in the hate, in the division, in the racism.
And it's just gotten worse.
And not with just speech protests. It was met with violent protests. You had people getting bricks thrown at them, sticks, baseball bats.
Throw things through windows.
I was disgusted by it.
What's with the violence, man? I mean, come on. Stop being so emotional and use your brain for a change.
I want to say to all of you who have walked away, thank you.
Thank you for letting my voice be heard finally.
I feel like this campaign has saved me.
I am free.
This group gives me hope.
One of the most accepting group of individuals that I've ever been a part of in my entire life.
Welcoming and inclusive.
Intelligent.
Extremely well-informed.
Love and compassion.
Beautiful conservative people with a big open heart.
I'm so inspired.
We're all waking up. And we're finally walking away.
And to all our friends who are not our friends yet and you're still on the dark side,
give it a chance.
We are waiting for you.
I want our voices to be magnified so that people know it's not a taboo to support conservative values.
USA!
beautiful people. We're going to get ready to sing our national anthem. If you guys can stand for the flag, take your hats off, put your right hand across your heart. Yeah. Yep. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red flare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
To keep us Americans focusing on the colors that divide us and not the colors that unite us. We are declaring right now today that we are determined more than ever to listen to the cries of the disenfranchised, the low income, the at-risk communities. We are marked and ever we will solve the problems together. Together, 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 together. Again, aren't you glad we elected Donald Trump to be the 35th? I am so excited to be here today to make a loud declaration to the world that we are if you believe me, shout yes. Yes. Listen, we are here because we're standing with Brandon, and aren't we glad Brandon stood up and decided to quit? Listen, we're walking away from fake friends because, listen, if they stopped being your friend because you walked away, they was never your friend in the first place. And we are tired. And I saw a video recently of a black American, And listen, I'm happy that I call myself a black American. I was never in that. I never been to Africa. Listen, I'm proud to be an American. That's okay. Is that okay? It's amazing how we got to try to identify ourselves with cultures that we never, listen, if I'm an African American, then you must be a Russian American or an English American. Y'all not saying that, but an Argentinian American, y'all, or European American. But I bet you I got just my Americans in the building today. If you are, show your hand. And this is why I'm fighting. And I'm going to continue to fight. I'm getting on a plane right now. As soon as we leave here, Eric and Laura Trump and myself, we're going to Las Vegas. We're going to continue to fight in Vegas. We're going to win these midterms. And we're going to make sure that we retain the House and the Senate. To support who I believe is the greatest president that America has ever seen. Donald J. Somebody say, fire up! Shout fire up! I will not back down. They done messed up by allowing us to speak here in Washington, D.C. because we are letting them know. Listen, I saw a video of a black man being bullied by a white liberal for wearing the Make America Great Again hat. Listen, I was talking to Casper backstage, who is a part of the Bikers for Trump. Don't y'all love Bikers for Trump? And as I'm talking to people, they get confused because I'm called pastor. Mark Burns. And they think that, you know, just because I'm pastor and we are the conservatives and we are the supposedly silent majority, that you can just step to any of us and we won't do anything about it. The devil is a liar. Listen, I come to serve notice on every white, liberal, black, liberal, racist, fake Democrats, that if you step to one of us, you step to all of us. I can't hear nobody. And this is why Donald J. Trump speaks so boldly, because I don't care about CNN. I don't care about MSNBC. I don't care what the liberal media might say. We don't belong to them. We belong to God Almighty. Christian nation, a God nation. This nation belongs to God. This is why they hate us. They hate us because they can't stop us. And no matter how loud they get, we get loud. USA! 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 every person that's trying to destroy our way of life here in America. And this is why I'm so happy to stand with the walkaway movement. Because we are walking away from liberalism. We're walking away from hatred. We're walking away from bigotry. We're walking away from fake people who try to declare that immigrants are more important than the citizens of the United States of America. If you believe me, shout yes! If you believe me, shout yes! And this is why we're fired up, and we won't stop. We won't slow down. We won't shut up. We will never die. This is why right now they're even trying to take God out of our national anthem. Listen, if you hate bigotry, if you hate the division created by identity politics, if you stand with Americans, let me just say it like this. The walkaway movement is simply this. It doesn't matter if you're black. It doesn't matter if you're white, brown. It doesn't matter if you're yellow or red. It doesn't matter if you're gay. It doesn't matter if you're straight. It doesn't matter if you're Christian or Jew or Muslim. If you love this country and you fight for the United States of America, if you declare it that I love America, then you are part of the walkaway movement. Walk away! Walk away! Walk away! Shout it! Walk away! Shout it! Walk away! Walk away! Walk away! That's right. Walk away! I'm going to say this, and I'm getting out of here. I'm heading on a plane. We're going to Las Vegas. We're going to Missouri. And we're going to make sure. The President Trump said to me, he said, Mark, we can't win 2020 until we win 2018. This is why we're fighting. This is why I'm thanking the walkaway movement. But they're trying to take God out of our national anthem. They're trying to take